Hello and welcome back to my scrap room. My name is Jennifer Perry, and today we are going to be working on a WIP and chat for Into Wonderland, and I have finished the center portion and I have turned it sideways, so now we're working in this area right here. I have my drill tray all set up. This is my little runaway drill, so when you're trying to put them back in their containers, if they escape, this is the escapees. This is my little trash bin. And then of course my sort quick, my wax, my ever-present chapstick, and my tools. I have my drills set up as numbers, letters, symbols. And I'm going to move this off to the side. So I have zoomed in quite a bit so that you can see this section. And I have a little zip pouch that I keep all of my cover release paper in, so I'm going to just take that off. And we shall get started. So what I have been doing is I've been starting off with 310 and getting all of the 310 filled in, and then I have been going back in with the rest of the colors. So it's a little bit different than how I do the Mandy Manzanos. When I work on Mandy's, I like to save the 310s for last. Don't know why, it just is the way my brain works. And I'm going to, sorry, I started falling out of my chair there for a second. I'm going to take this container and just set it, you're not going to be able to see it because it's going to be out of camera range. I'm going to just set this off to the side. I'm not putting it back in my drill tray. I'm going to set it off to the side so that when I have a brain fart or get distracted and forget which color or symbol I'm working on, I can look over and this is within my sight of vision and I can see what I'm supposed to be working on. Now when I'm working on an edge, I will do the edge first. Because I want this to be as straight as possible. And when I first started doing diamond painting, I would take a gift card or a straight edge of some sort and put along this edge to help me keep it straight. Now that I am 2 years in, I can do a pretty good job as long as I have it facing this way. So if I have my edge on this facing me, closest to me, I do a really good job of keeping my edges straight. But if I'm reaching across, trying to work across and over myself, my edges turn out crappy. So I figured out, keep the edge as close to me as possible, to where A, you can see them, but you have a little bit better control of where you're placing. And it just works out quite well. So this painting is going fairly quickly. It is what I would consider now a snack size. When I first started, it was a large canvas. When I first started diamond painting, I would have considered it a large canvas. But after Mask of Love, this is snack size, and I'm really enjoying it. So I have my edge finished. So now I'm going to go up, I'm going to do checkerboard this time, just because, just to give me something different to do. I don't always do checkerboard, but there's a good block of color here, and it will be fun. I'm going to have to put more wax on my pen in just a moment. But this painting is going to be for my sister Sari. I am hoping to get it done with her fairly soon. I'm going to put some wax on my pen. Like I have said in different videos, she rarely asks for anything, and when she mentioned that she wanted an Alice in Wonderland painting, I thought, you know what? I can make that happen. May have to turn my little fan on. I'm warm. I don't know if you guys would be able to hear it or not. It's my little Fabio fan. On the lowest setting of this little fan, it'll blow you out of your chair, and I love it. Now, because I am speaking to you in real time and not doing a voiceover on this one, I may not finish this entire section because it will take a while. So I will do it as long as I think a video needs to be, without making it a 5-hour video, and then stop it there, because I value your time. And while some of you will pull out your kits and work with me, some of you are just enjoying a bit of quiet time on break or at work or whatever, and watching videos on your phone. And I want to make sure to keep this in a reasonable amount of time for you guys also. So today might just be 310. I don't know, because there is an awful lot of 310 in this section. So at the moment, I think the kittens are having a kitten nap time. My husband is home today. It is a holiday, so he's technically not at work. He is working on some work, but he's technically not at work. So Biscuit is beside himself happy because Daddy is home. And then Dumpling is mad at me because instead of putting more food in his bowl this morning, I shook it up. He didn't need a refill, he just needed the whole cupboard. And he wanted new food. So I just shook up his bowl this morning, which he's perturbed with me now, because he thinks he needs new food. So he may not come to visit us today. He may decide that I am not worth him gracing his presence. But he is a little on the chunky side, and the vet wanted me to reduce his consumption, so I am trying. And today is the first day he's given me any pushback. Oh, and I also picked up his paper. Oh dear, I performed a travesty. The packing paper that comes in some of the Amazon boxes, he adores. The shelter that we adopted him from told us that he was a biter and a chewer. And we're working on the biting. He still likes to nibble. And we're working on that because sometimes he doesn't realize how strong he really is and he will break skin. So we're working on curbing that activity. But he loves to chew paper. And he will, I mean, it fulfills a need for him, and I don't mind giving him paper to chew up. But he doesn't chew up all paper. He chews up the paper that I allow him to chew. And he loves the brown Amazon packing paper. So I picked up the paper that he destroyed earlier in the week, that he's had on the floor for a couple of weeks, destroying and having a good time. I'm expecting a box from Amazon today, so hopefully there will be a little bit of packing paper in there, and I can let him have the packing paper, and hopefully the box is a good size to where I can just let him have the box for a few days. And that will make for a happy kitten. I'm just about ready to fill this in. So Saturday was my daughter's birthday, and it was the first birthday ever that we were not together. And our birthdays are very close together, so much so that we tend to share a birthday. You know, if we do festivities or whatever, it's both of us. We celebrate both of us at the same time. And it was the first birthday in 25 years that I have not shared with her. And let me tell you, it felt very, very weird. I'm not sure I like it. I don't have much choice in it, but I'm not sure I like it. you know, when you get used to something, it becomes tradition. So next year I may have to just make a point of going to Colorado and being with her on our birthdays. Even if we don't do anything, just being together. Because I was a little bit off. I just was not myself. So my birthday is Wednesday. So we will be having family dinner with the rest of the family. And I will try not to be in a funk. Not because it's my birthday, but just because my child's not here. So I'm used to working and stuff on my birthday. That's not a big deal. You know, we have a joke in our family that we never celebrate birthdays on the actual day because I was always working. We would celebrate the birthday on the first day off that I had, or the holiday on the first day off that I had. You know, it wasn't just birthdays, it was Labor Day, it was Christmas, whatever holiday, because I always worked holidays. And so the first birthday that my daughter had after I retired, she didn't know what to do, actually having a birthday on her birthday. Because she was just conditioned and was okay with it, of just understanding, we will celebrate your birthday on Mom's first day off. And when your child grows up like that, she doesn't know any different, so it's not a big deal, it doesn't bug them. And same thing with the rest of the family. You know, we've had several people in the family work in the medical field and going to be working in the medical field still, so we're just really used to accommodating when that person can get off work and spend time. You know, the regular family will have a holiday per usual, and then we'll do it again for the person that gets off work. So sometimes we had 2 Thanksgivings or 2 Labor Days, or, you know, Christmas on a different day, so, you know, all the family could be together, and it just works out. I think we are going to try and go to Colorado in a couple of months for a short visit, because my husband is feeling it too, so we may drive out for a couple of days and just go see her. He asked me when we go out how long did I want to stay, you know, for a visit, and I told him 3 months. He goes, how about 3 days? Okay, I can compromise. So, because it takes us 2 days to drive out there, 2 days to drive back. So if we visit for 3 days, he can take a reasonable amount of time off. So, because not only do we like road trips, we enjoy road trips. Right now, I just don't want to be in an airport. It's just, not airports, but flying just is not fun anymore. It used to be an adventure. You used to dress up for it. And unless there's some place that I can't get to by car in a reasonable amount of time right now, I'm okay. I'll wait. It's just, it's stress that I just don't want to put on myself right now, so. And there are other people that need to fly, so why take up a seat for somebody that needs it when I don't really have to? So I think we're going to try and drive out and go see her. In my garden, we are still at close to 100 degrees during the day. My garden is just begging for some relief. My petunias kicked the bucket, finally. They were just like, I can't anymore. So I pulled those. My Prince Tuts, I thought were kicking the bucket. If you look up Proven Winners on provenwinners.com, look up Prince Tut grasses or baby tut, T-U-T, as in Prince Tut. I had those in 2 pots, and I thought they were dying. I thought they were just, because we're in a zone 8, they're typically a zone 10 plant. I thought they were just reaching the end of the life cycle for this growing zone. So I trimmed the stalks, thinking, okay, well, I'll trim the stalks, stop watering the plant, let the dirt dry out so that I can get the the plant out of the pot easier. And when I trimmed it back, there were baby tuts, or baby prince tuts in the pot trying to come up. And I thought, well, okay, we'll leave these be. So I don't know what those are going to do. We now officially have an experiment in the backyard. I'm not going to touch them. They are trying to grow. I don't think they're going to last through winter, but we have a very long fall. We typically don't get a true winter until the end of December. Into January is when we first start getting cold. So I'm going to leave them alone and just see what they do. They might just be confused. I don't know. So, but it is fun to watch them. And then as far as putting the house back together, as you know, we took everything apart to get the house painted. So I finally, let me spit it out. When we moved into this house 20 years ago, we were squeaky as far as, we were still making 2 house payments because we hadn't sold our first house. We were very young, very squeaky, probably bought more house than we could afford but didn't realize we did. We're fine now because, you know, as you get older you make more money. But we were super squeaky. So I went to Home Depot, Lowe's, one of those stores, and at the time you could buy window coverings for $1, like very cheap, cheaper than cheap blinds. And I have 33 windows in my house. I have windows where there really shouldn't be a window, but for some reason my city said that there has to be a window. Like I have windows in closets. I don't know why you have to have a window in a closet, but our city, per fire code, said you have to have a window in a closet. So I do. I have a window in a pantry. I don't know why, but I do. So anyway, I went to Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever store that was, and bought the cheapest window blinds I could get my hands on. And believe it or not, those were still in place up until a few months ago when the painters came. So what I have done is throughout the summer, mainly on the back of the house, we have not had any window coverings because I've been slowly buying curtains. And I've been buying blackout, either 100% blackout or room darkening with thermal curtains for each of the rooms. And taking my time and getting good curtains. So I think we just put up our Yes, we just put up our last curtains last weekend, and wow, it makes a difference. It makes a huge difference in temperature and just the way the room looks. We should have done this years ago, and I just, you know, when you're in the stage of your life of raising children, going to work, you know, really you and your spouse pass in the hallway and you're not real sure, you know, hi, who are you type thing. You're just in that you don't even hardly know your own name stage of life because you're so busy. Curtains are not a priority. So we finally have curtains in every room. And I finally, because, you know, when Kayla moved out, the room became available again, so I finally set it up as a proper guest room. We've never had a proper guest room. We now have a proper guest room. So that's nice. It's been fun setting that up. In fact, my best friend came over and was looking at it. And she started giggling. She's like, you even set them up with a Keurig. Because I have a little side table with a Keurig and a couple of coffee mugs and a tea set up. She goes, you even set them up with a Keurig. And I was like, no, I didn't. That's for me. That's for when I'm up here and I want a cup of tea and I am too lazy to go downstairs. So I have my Keurig I have a bottle of water up there, which I either can get a fresh bottle of water or I fill it up in the bathroom sink, whichever, you know, depending on where my feeling is at the moment. Figure I filled it up in the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink isn't much different. And then I have my tea, and I can just get me a cup of tea and not run up and down the stairs. Because there are nights that I cannot sleep. I was a night shifter for many, many years, and you would think after being retired for, Kayla's been out of school for 2 years, so 4, 5, 6. So for being retired for 8 years, my sleep pattern would straighten up. Nope. I will do quite well for a few weeks, and then my body just does a flip-flop. And then I'll get myself straightened back out, and I'll sleep well for a few weeks, and then my body just does a flip-flop. And that's one of the things diamond painting or even scrapbooking. I did a lot of scrapbooking in the middle of the night. But they're quiet activities that I can work on without waking up my family. If I happen to be in a I can't sleep mode, to where before I found any type of crafting, whether it was scrapbooking or diamond painting, I would clean my house in the middle of the night. I would move furniture around. I would vacuum, and it would just irritate my family. So now I have a quiet activity. And it's amazing what you can get accomplished in a few hours in the middle of the night. Now I still cook in the middle of the night. I have been known to make a full meal, put it in the fridge, and then the next day when I know I'm going to be stupid and not functional, dinner's already done, and then all we have to do is just reheat it. Been known to bake in the middle of the night. Last night I made scones before bed. Don't know why, just did. My biggest is I love to make soup in the middle of the night, or a casserole that I could put together and pop in the fridge and just bake the next day. So those are activities when I can't sleep that keep me from going crazy. Do I have? No, I don't. Okay. I was looking around to see if I had a bottle of water in here. I don't. Just when you think, oh my goodness, this color will never end, you start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So hopefully you guys can't hear Fabio. I had to turn my little fan on, and that is on the low. If you can hear it, that is the lowest setting. And he just blows me right out of my chair. And I think what I might do is I'll just finish the 310 portion of this so that I can keep it a reasonable little video for you guys. And then I can make another one, filling in the rest of it. So you have, because I know I like long videos, but hour long, I'm trying to find a happy medium. When I'm listening to a WIP and chat, I like the really long ones when I'm working right alongside somebody. But when I am watching one, I tend to get, if it's too long, I tend to get bored and then I turn it off. So just knowing myself and trying to find a happy medium. I may need to change my tip. My tip has not been changed in a while. And it's getting harder to pick up drills. It might be my tip. I have 2 others of this style pen, but this one is my go-to. I just, every time I work, this is the one I reach for. Oopsie. So I have a red one and I have a pink one. And I bought them as in case something happens to this one, then I have a backup. Because these pins are not indestructible, they do break. So I wanted to have a backup, because I do not like the pins that come with the kits. Since I found custom pins, I'll use them if I have to, but I don't like them. These custom pins are more comfortable, so why use something I don't like? Now I mailed I had a couple of non-DAC kits still in my stash, and my niece has started diamond painting, so I sent those to her for her to be able to work on. So the only two non-DAC paintings that I have are my nativity scene, which I just haven't started working on yet, and my sloth, and I'm saving him because eventually I will get back on a boat and I will take my Panama cruise that was canceled this year, and he will go with me. I bought him specifically for that cruise, and he will go with me. Now if it's going to take a while and I feel like the adhesive, you know, it's getting close to the time to just start working on it because if the adhesive is getting older, then I'll go ahead and work on it and just order another one. It's more just time as far as getting back on a boat and going for a cruise than anything else. But the cruise that I want isn't being offered yet. When it's offered and I can get back on the boat, that one's going with me. And so the rest of my stash is DAC. I've made the conscious decision. I like their kits. I like that they pay for their artists. I like their customer service. I like that they're based in the United States. I know there's other companies that, you know, now we have more choices. I just haven't tried them yet. And I don't know that I will. I like DAC. I have less than 10 kits, so I don't have a crazy stash or anything, but I like them. I'm going to do the arrows real fast and then we'll call it a day. So again, if I find what I like, why mess with it? I like it. I'm just putting my drills back in the container. Oopsie, missed the container. Get the drills that I missed. Oh, it was only 3. Okay, cool. So we're going to work on the arrow. Now when I'm working sideways, what I like to do when I'm not sure, is this the correct arrow? I turn the, well, you can't see it, I'm so sorry. So I look at it this way when I'm trying to figure out, is this the one that I need? But because my painting is going this direction, if I want to make sure I've got the right arrow, I turn it this way. Does it match what's on the grid? It does. Good. So what I'll do is I'll put it in my container, and then when I put this, because remember I'm going to leave this out, I'm going to put it aside but facing the direction the arrows are going. So that if I'm having a brain fart and I need to remember what I'm working on, the container is matching the grid. And a couple of things that I use is I use the color. Does the color drill match the color of the grid on the canvas? And then if I turn the bottle the proper direction, does it match the symbol? And that's, you know, if it doesn't, then I've got the wrong container. And sometimes they're very close. Sometimes it takes a minute to figure out which one you've got because the colors are even close. But this is not a race. Take your time. Enjoy the process. If it takes you, you know, a minute to figure out that you've got the right drill, I'd rather take a minute, make sure that I've got the correct drill, than have to pick all those back up when I realize I picked the wrong color. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop for just a moment here. It's a good stopping point for the video. So I will reach back into my little zippy pouch and I will cover it. Now because of how many I've got on there, it doesn't stick anymore at all. So if you notice, it's still moving around. So I'm going to cover it And I just take my entire drill tray and set on top so it doesn't move. That little piece of paper is not going to move. And then I unplug everything. And that's how I close my session. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I know you have a choice of channels that you can be watching, and I'm very thankful that you choose to spend just a moment of your day with me. Until next time, bye!